Hello, welcome back to the channel, and today we are doing our first Tarkir Dragonstorm draft on Arena. Super excited to start playing the set. Well, I've done some pre-releases, did an in-person draft yesterday, went 3-0 with a pretty sweet Jeskai control deck. And also, I need to learn the set as fast as possible because I will be competing in the Spotlight Series in Denver this weekend, which is going to be Tarkir Dragonstorm Sealed on day 1. And then I'm not sure exactly how it works. I think there's a couple drafts on day 2 and with the potential to make the Pro Tour. So without further ado, we'll just go ahead and get started. I have a lot of thoughts about the format, mainly that I think it revolves mostly around elephants. The teamer mechanics seem very good. The 5/5 tokens are huge. And there's a lot of value-based mechanics and not a lot of one-drops. So aggro decks kind of struggle a little bit in this format because, well, first of all, the mobilize mechanic doesn't really help the individual creatures attack necessarily, and they're kind of lower statted. We're just going to go ahead and jump in, and then I'll try to mouse over cards as long as possible and give my thoughts. Okay, so we have our opening pack. And what do we got? We got the Thunder of Unity, Mardu Enchantment, draw 2 cards, lose 2 life on Chapter 1, and then kind of a Impact Tremors for, well, actually it's a Drain on Chapters 2 and 3 when creatures enter, so I'm going to highlight that. That seems really strong. There's also a Kintree Severance, the Abzan 2 and a split card, with a mana value of 6, exile target permanent with a mana value 3 or greater. The Caustic Exhale. The Exhales all seem very excellent in this format. Just really cheap, efficient removal. There's a lot of cheap, efficient removal in this format. Other than that, we have Overwhelming Surge, which can deal 3 or destroy an artifact. Not the most exciting. Wayspeaker Bodyguard, 4 mana 3/4. Return a mana value 2 or less from grave to hand, and then when you cast your second spell, tap target creature. I think the pick could be the Caustic Exhale, but we're just going to go ahead and try the rare. It's early in the format, so I'm willing to do that. All right, so next we've got Salt Road Skirmish, which is a fine removal spell, blows up a creature, and then you essentially mobilize 2, which is you create 2 red warrior creature tokens and they gain haste, and then you sack them at the beginning of the next end step. We have Mardu Devotee, which is a 1 mana 1/2, which is rare. Again, like I said, there's hardly any 1-drops in the format. So 1 mana 1/2, enters Scry 2, and then it's one of these fixers, all the devotees. So you can pay 1 to add either red, white, or black, activate only once each turn. So overall, this cycle is pretty solid. Blossoming Sands. I also like Glacial Dragon Hunt. 2 mana, draw a card, then you may discard a card, and then when you discard a non-land card this way, it deals 3 damage to target creature. Harmonize for 4 blue-red. Harmonize is kind of broken. Maybe we'll get into that a little later. I'm just going to take the Salt Road Skirmish. I think I value the removal. I'm also thinking about the Mardu Devotee, but let's take the removal spell. Okay, now we're just going to take Twin Maw Stormbrood. This card is very strong. So it's one of these Omen Dragons. So it's a 6 mana 5/4 flyer. When it enters, you gain 4 life. Totally reasonable, solid card. Then it has a sorcery Omen, Charring Bite. It looks like an adventure, but instead of getting exiled, you can play the other half later. It gets shuffled back into the deck, which is notably worse, but it's still a good card. Deals 5 damage to target creature without flying. Notably, this destroys elephants, so I think we're going to take that. There's also Gurmag Rakshasa, which is a 6 mana 5/5 menace. Give target creature and opponent controls -2/-2, and target creature you controlled +2/+2 until end of turn. There's Shock Brigade and Bearer of Glory as decent 2-drops. The Shock Brigade is a 2 mana 1/3 with menace and mobilize 1, meaning when it attacks, you make a 1/1 that's tapped and attacking. It gets sacked. And then the Bearer of Glory is one of these 2 mana 2/1 first strike on your turn kind of creatures. So yeah, that was pretty solid. Okay, now we have some choices. So there's Duty Beyond Death. As an additional cost to cast this spell, sacrifice a creature. Creatures you control gain indestructible until end of turn. Put a counter on each creature you control. So I could see that being very good with the mobilize mechanic. Hardened Tactician. 3 mana for a 2/4, 1 mana, sack a token, draw a card. Again, good with Mobilize. Another Shock Brigade. I think at this point I am just going to take a Mardu Devotee. I want to get on the board early, and then hopefully I can wheel some of these payoffs. Also, Alesha's Legacy could be good. Just a 1 and a black, give a creature Death Touch and Indestructible. Another Shock Brigade. Yeah, but we're going to take the Mardu Devotee. Probably be black-white base. Okay, yeah, this is looking pretty nice, so I'm just going to go ahead and take the Bearer of Glory here. And I know I was saying that aggro is not very well supported in this format. Like, I could have just taken the Caustic Exhale, pack one, pick one, but really I just kind of wanted to test the rare. I mean, I've seen this rare a couple times. It's good, solid. So we'll go ahead and take a 2-drop to help facilitate that. 2 mana, 2/1, first strike on your turn, and then it has a pump effect. 5 mana, creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. So you can get some pretty wide boards, and that's really the way the aggro decks want to play out this format. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and take that. We could use some fixing. Oh, and look at that. Ask and you shall receive. We receive a Bloodfell Caves. Very perfect. So we're going to probably be black, white, splash red, or red, white, splash black. Will to be determined, but yeah, absolutely great. I think the lands are going to be high picks. I believe there is a dual land in 87.5% of packs or something like that, as opposed to the regular 50, like these gain lands. There's also the tri-lands, which are high picks, and then Evolving Wilds. So I think you would take those relatively highly. Also in this pack, really quick, there's the Unsparing Boltcaster, 3 mana, 3/3. When it enters, deal 5 damage to an opponent, to a creature that an opponent controls that was dealt damage this turn. So yeah, that kind of thing, very, very strong. Okay, now we have the choice between a Mardu Monument and the Monument cycle. So they're all 2 mana and they fetch up a basic land of that type, and you can pay 5 mana and tap it, sack it, 2 in Mardu colors, create 3 tokens. They gain menace and haste. They don't get sacked at end of turn, which is nice. So there's that. I kind of just want to take another Mardu Devotee, to be honest. I think I am. I feel like I just want to get on the board early and really punish these decks that are trying to go a lot bigger and just try to go under them. Difficult because there's a lot of cheap interaction, but I don't know. I feel like that might be a way we want to do that. I'm going to take Wild Ride here. It's one of these Harmonize cards. So 1 mana, target creature gets +3/+0 and gains haste until end of turn. You can Harmonize for 4 and a red. So what Harmonize is you can... It's essentially flashback, except you can tap a creature you control and reduce the cost by that creature's power. So obviously it's better with the with bigger creatures, which we don't necessarily have, but we can get there. Okay, perfect. We wheeled the Shock Brigade. Absolutely, yeah, just exactly what we want to see for 2-drops. Because, you know, in an aggro deck, you want an abundance of 1s and 2s. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and take the Shock Brigade. Blossoming Sands, not the land we're looking for. I guess we take this Rescue Leopard. 3 mana, 4/2. When this creature becomes tapped, you may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. Good, notably, with Harmonize, but not the most exciting card. It's probably not going to make the deck, but, you know, it can hang out. Okay, now we get a Seize Opportunity. I think this one's solid. 3 mana instant. You either impulse draw the top 2 cards of your decks, exile them, and then until the end of your next turn, you may play those cards. You can play lands. Or up to 2 target creatures each get +2/+1. So a little bit of a, not mass pump effect, but it's pretty good. I'll take an Alesha's Legacy here. It looks like we're going to be more red-based, so I think I'm going to start that in the sideboard. This is an interesting one. Essence Anchor. 3 mana artifact at the beginning of your upkeep, surveil 1, and then you can tap it to create a 2/2, but only if a card has left your graveyard this turn. So curious to see how well that's going to do. Okay, on to the next pack. We got some bangers. So, okay, we've got Sun Pearl Kirin. I think this is probably one of White's better uncommons? Question mark? So, Flash 2 mana 2/1 flyer, which is fine. Like, nice aggressive creature. There's not that much. There's a lot of reach, but not as much as there was in Ether Drift. When it enters, return up to one other target non-land permanent you control to the hand. If it was a token, draw a card. So that's a way to use the mobilized tokens. Like, you really want to be able to use the mobilized tokens before they die to get maximum value. You either mass pump them so they deal more damage, or you do something like this where it's going to die anyway, and you just draw a card, and you get a 2/1 flyer. That's kind of nice. Other than that, there's another Bearer of Glory. There's another Bloodfell Caves. There's a Caustic Exhale, but again, we're kind of more base black. There's a lot more cards in here, but I think a lot of them were not super great for what we're doing. Okay. I think we're gonna take the Marshal of the Lost. This seems like a good card to splash. 4 mana, 3/3 Death Toucher. Whenever you attack, target creature gets +X/+X, where X is the number of attacking creatures. So I believe this is worded in a way such that you can stack the triggers for like mobilize, so you can get the tokens and then have more creatures to, pump one thing. So not bad. Otherwise, there's a Whale of War. 2 in a black instant, creatures target opponent controls gets -1/-1 until end of turn. Or you rebuy 2 creatures from your grave to the hand. So, yeah, I think we're just going to take the Marshal of the Lost here. Okay. I suppose we'll take Fortress. So we're going to take the Fortress Kinguard here, I think. So this is a 2 mana 1/2. When it enters and endures 1. Endures is the Abzan mechanic. And you either, so to endure, you either put that many +1/+1 counters on the creature, or create a XX token, where X is the value. So you either get a 1/2 and a 1/1, or you get a 2/3 for 2 mana, which I thought this was going to be one of White's best commons. It is definitely not, but I think in this deck it's going to be totally serviceable. Otherwise, there's an Underfoot Underdogs, 3 mana 1/2, make a 1/1 Goblin, 1 tap, target creature control power 2 or less can't be blocked. Probably a good combo with the Marshal of the Lost, but again, I think I just want an abundance of 2-drops in this deck for what we're trying to do. Okay, now we can take a nice removal spell in Stormplane Detainment. It's essentially Banishing Light. When this enchantment enters, exile a thing, a non-land permanent, anything, until an opponent controls until this enchantment leaves. Other than that, there's some other sweet cards in here. There's Ireni's Rebuff, 2 mana sorcery, return target creature to its owner's hand. Not great, but you can harmonize it for 5 and a blue. So I think this is going to be fairly decent against the elephants. I'm going to keep talking about the elephants. I think they're really good. So this is good against that, but otherwise it's kind of middling. There's another Whale of War. This card seems kind of nuts. I've yet to see it. 1 mana, 1/1 in green, Vigilance, Reach, Death Touch, the Dragon Sniper. Very interesting. But yeah, anyway, we took that, and we get another Shock Brigade. Very nice. So again, we've got to be committing to the board early, and then Shock Brigade just does everything we want in this deck. We can be super aggressive. There's also Strategic Betrayal, which I think is a very interesting removal spell. It's a 2 mana sorcery. Target opponent exiles a creature they control and their graveyard. So there's a lot of graveyard-based synergies in this deck, or in the format, with Harmonize, Renew, etc. And an Edict's not the best. Like, they play a Fortress Kinguard and you don't get anything good, but yeah. Anyway, so we got lots of choices. I'm going to take a look at the curve real quick, take a look at our creature count. So there's Lightfoot Technique. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature, gains flying and indestructible until end of turn. I'm not the biggest fan. There's Twin Bolt, which deals 2 damage divided as you choose among 1 or 2 targets. There's another Kinguard. And there's a Devoted Duelist, which is a 2 mana 2/1 with haste. I think I'm going to take the Twin Bolt, just as a way to, Windscarred Crag. Just as a way to, okay, there's a lot of big creatures in the format, but you play against a mirror match. You got a lot of small things. You can kill, if you can, Twin Bolt and kill a Sun Pearl Kieran and deal, 1 damage to the face, you're really happy. Or if you kill a token or something, like an Endure token, that's pretty nice. Yeah, we're going to take the Windscarred Crag here, just have good fixing. And then nothing much here, so I guess I'll take a Fire Inform, Flash, Enchant Aura, When it enters, enchanted creature gains first strike until end of turn, gets +2/+0, like a perma buff. It's like fine. We'll see. It could maybe be a sideboard card. Well, now we can take another one. We could also take this Poised Practitioner. 3 mana 2/3 with Flurry. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, put a counter on it and then scry one. So it's filler. I think we already have some decent 3s. There's another Wild Ride. There is a Sig Appraiser. I do like this card. It's kind of like Organ Hoarder at home. 3 mana 2/1. When it enters, look at the top 2 cards of your library, put one into your hand and the other into your graveyard. Totally solid card. The 2/1 body's not the most impressive, but I mean, 2-for-1s are good in this format for sure. Okay, we wield the Underfoot Underdogs, so I think that's going to be a nice addition to the deck. Aggressive Negotiation. So this is like a Thoughtseize variant. 3 mana sorcery. Target opponent reveals their hand. Choose a non-land card from it and exile, notably, not discard. And then put a +1/+1 counter and up to 1 target creature you control. We're not going to splash for that, but it is kind of nice. Okay, nothing much in these last couple. Whoa, last pick Sig Appraiser. That's a little shocking to me, but maybe I'm overvaluing that card just a little bit. Oh, nice. We open up a Mardu Mythic Rare Nereeve Heart of the Storm. 1 and Mardu colors for a legendary creature, Spirit Dragon at Mythic, flying. If a creature you control that entered this turn would deal damage, it deals twice that much damage instead. So obviously this is perfect with the Mobilize mechanic, and then also anything that has haste, which I don't really think we have too much, but yeah, no. Nereeve is great. Great pickup. Definitely am going to try to splash for this, which we already have a Bloodfell Caves and a Windscarred Crag, so that won't be too difficult. Otherwise, there's Yathan Tomb Guard, which is a 3 mana 2/3 with Menace. Whenever a creature you control with a counter on it deals combat damage to a player, you draw a card and you lose a life. Man, there's just too many cards to talk about. Okay. I think I'm going to take the Kori Mountain Monastery here. So this is one of the rare cycle of lands. So this taps for red, enters tapped unless you control a plains or an island, which we're base red-white. It will probably come into play untapped most of the time. And then you could play 3 in red and tap it, exile the top card of your library until the end of your next turn. You could play that card. So obviously 4 mana for an impulse draw is not the best, but you get it repeatedly on a land. And that's very, very powerful. And also this pack doesn't really have too much as the 3 mana deal 3 to a creature, or the Stormshriek Feral, which is another one of these Omen Dragons. But yeah, I think we're going to totally take this land here. It's a free upgrade. Okay, so we could take a Sandstep Citadel, which does tap for white and black, but it does not tap for red. But, I mean, the whole point is that it's just basically another white-black tap land. We could also take one of these 2-drops. There's the Devoted Duelist, so it is a 2 mana 2/1 with haste, and with a flurry mechanic, whenever you cast your second spell, this creature deals 1 damage to each opponent. And we also have the Jeskai Devotee, which also has flurry, gets +1/+1 until end of turn, and it's one of those mana fixers for Jeskai colors. It's one of these. I think I'll take the Duelist just to be a little faster. I'm not entirely convinced. Ooh, we had to take another one of my... Oh, there's 2 choices here. So I think I'm going to take the Static Snare. Static Snare seems great. It kind of reminds me of Witchstalker Frenzy from Wilds of Eldraine. So 4 and a white, flash enchantment. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each attacking creature. When it enters, exile an artifact or creature an opponent controls until this leaves. So it's good on offense and good on defense. There's also Great Erishan City, which is the Abzan one. It taps for black, enters tapped unless you control Forest or Plains. You can play 1 in a black tap, exile a creature from your graveyard to make a 1/1 spirit, which is fine, but I think the Static Snare is going to do a lot better. Okay, I think I'm going to take the Bone Cairn Butcher. So it's a 1 in Mardu for a 4/4, mobilize 2. Attacking tokens you control have Death Touch, which is really great because then they can't just like chump block them, right? They have to trade if they're or take a couple points of damage. So yeah, that seems really nice. Okay, I think I'm gonna try this Fleeting Effigy. 1 mana 2/2 with haste, but at the beginning of your end step, return this creature to the hand. 2 in a red, this creature gets +2/+0 until end of turn. It's either that or coordinated maneuver. Yeah, I think I just want to start on turn 1. Oh, nice. Okay, now we get the Mardu version of this, like 6 mana, but with hybrid mana costs. Defibrillating Current. 2 red, 2 white, 2 black for a sorcery, deals 4 damage to target creature or planeswalker, and you gain 2 life. So ideally in this deck, it's going to cost like 3 mana, maybe 4. Okay, I think here we'll go ahead and take either the Erishan Sun Shield or a Summit Intimidator. This one's a 4 mana 4/3 with reach, and when it enters, target creature can block, as opposed to the Erishan Sun Shield. When it enters, exile up to 2 target cards from a single graveyard, and then you can pay white and tap. I think I'll lean towards the Sun Shield. It's probably not going to make the deck. Whoa, we wield Salt Road Pack Beast, which I think I'm going to totally snap up. So this is a 5 and a white for a 4/3 when it enters draw, but it costs 1 less to cast for each creature you control. So ideally, we'll be casting this as 3 or 4, maybe even 2 mana. Very nice. I guess here we'll take an Overwhelming Surge for the sideboard. Don't think we need that. Nothing here. All right, so I think that's... oh, whoa. We got another Twin Bolt. That could be like a... we'll put in the main deck for now. We'll see. All right. Deck looks solid, but the fixing is not good, notably. So I think by that... oh man, I want to play all these sweet Mardu cards, but we really did not get the fixing that we need. I mean, yeah, we don't even have like... oh, we have 2 Mardu devotees. Never mind. Okay, that helps a little bit with the fixing. So we'll see here. So we have to make 4 cuts. So this is kind of like a 2-drop. We definitely play the Mardu devotees. I think I can cut one of the Wild Rides. That doesn't seem... it seems fine, but probably something I just want one of. I can cut the Rescue Leopard just as a not so impressive creature. Okay. I guess I can cut the Salt Road Skirmish. I mean, it does blow up anything, which is pretty nice. I just think I'd rather... if I'm going to be splashing black, I'd much rather just play these more impressive creatures. And I think we definitely just have to cut like 2 of the black cards, to be honest. Not Defibrillating Current, because this could be just like 2 mana, red and a white. And that's acceptable, right? So yeah, I think we'll just kind of treat this as a 4-drop, which now we have the problem of like way too many 4s. So yeah, I think we have to cut, unfortunately, cut the Salt Road Skirmish, which is not great, but we do have other good removal. We have the Static Snare, we have the Stormplay Detainment, Double Twin Bolt, and the Charring Bite. So I'm not super worried about my lack of interaction or anything like that. Let's see. What else do we want to cut? I mean, I think there's a lot of cards I'd rather cut just based on rate. So it's got to be a 4-drop, I think. It could be the Sun Shield. It's like a little small ball for what we're trying to do. The problem is then we have like 4 black cards and only like 1 Bloodfell Caves, which I'm not a fan of. So maybe I just have to be disciplined and cut the like Marshal of the Lost or... yeah, I think it has to be Marshal of the Lost. I think I just have to be disciplined. If I had gotten 1 more black land, like if I had gotten a Scoured Barrens, I think, the black-white one, then we're talking. But now I think this is a little better. So 4 black cards. I think I'm going to be a little risky and cut 1 swamp here and add in a mountain, I think. So this will give us 5, 6, 7, 8 red sources and 7, 8 white sources, which it's like borderline okay, and then 3 black sources. But then with the thought that the Mardu devotee is going to help. I mean, it helps in the sense that it fixes, but also the Scry 2 can help smooth out the draws. Maybe you can find your other colors or the cards that you're you're looking for. So yeah, that seems okay. So yeah, we'll go ahead and run it like this. I'm not entirely convinced this deck is good, but it has some powerful cards, has some powerful curve out potential. So yeah. Oh, and I'm doing best. I typically do best of 3, but I like to do best of 1, maybe just once or twice at the start of the format, because you get to play more games, you get to see more opponents, which I think is beneficial for learning the format, especially when you're trying to learn it really, really fast. Wow, this hand looks great. Yeah, this is perfect. It's got all of our colors. Tap land on 1 into 2-drop, a 3-drop removal spell, which, I mean, it's not great that we're on the draw, but at least the saving graces, they probably play something really nice that I can Stormplane Detainment, which is good. And then we got a couple of 4s, which I would really, really like to play on curve. So yeah, this hand looks solid. Totally reasonable. Okay. We'll just go Rittenskard Crag to start, and then we'll go... I mean, we got to instill fear into the opponent that I have natural Tron with my lands, so we'll go Swamp into Shock Brigade. Opponent has done nothing on turn 2, which I like. Okay, they've played a Dragonstorm Globe, so... Oh, perfect. I was going to say, I don't really want to Stormplane Detainment that, but I would much rather go Underfoot Underdogs. So yeah, let's go Plains Underfoot Underdogs. So I'm going to make a 1/1 and then slam for 2 total damage. So yeah, the mobilize, then the token gets sacrificed at the end of the turn. So it's really nice to be able to have something that works with that, but again, it's not entirely necessary. So obviously, next turn I would much rather play... Okay, what do we have here? We've got a 2/2. So it's already gone. That was one of those Omen Dragons. He was either 2 mana... Oh, it's another one. Okay, let's stay on this one. So they just play the Feral Deathgorger, but the Dusk Sight. So you play the Omen, and then you shuffle it back into the deck. So you put a +1/+1 counter up to 1 target creature, draw a card, then you shuffle this back in the deck. So, yeah. Okay, what do we want to do? So I could Stormplane Detainment, the 3/3, and Fleeting Effigy. I kind of like that, actually. And then on the next turn, we can go Fleeting Effigy plus 1 of my 4s, or give something unblockable. Yeah, I think that's good. And again, we're trying to kill them fast before they do crazy value-based, like they played their Mana Rock on turn 3 and they're going to set up for something really huge and game warping, but like we're going to try not to make that matter as much as possible. So now we can just go like Butcher into Effigy, and then on the following turn we're attacking for like so much damage. Okay, Stalwart Successor, 3 mana, 3/2 with Menace in black-green. Whenever 1 or more counters are put on a creature you control, if it's the first time counters have been put on that creature this turn, put a +1/+1 counter on that creature. So it basically doubles up counters on the first time you do it on a creature, I guess. Whoa, we got Nareeve. That's pretty cool. Okay, what do we want to do here? So, I mean, we definitely want to attack with the Fleeting Effigy, I think. Let's go land. What do we want here? I could also give the Shock Brigade unblockable. Okay, so the sequencing is important here. So we can either go Nareeve first, which just hits by itself pretty well, or there's also the Bone Cairn Butcher, which leads well into the Shock Brigade attack with the token, and then Nareeve on the following turn can be really nice with the... Yeah, I think we're going to do that. So we're going to go Fleeting Effigy, and then we're going to go Bone Cairn Butcher, and then we're going to attack with a Fleeting Effigy, and then actually, we're just going to keep up the pressure. We're going to swing out, because if they want to kill the Shock Brigade, they have to double block, and then this token has Death Touch as well. So yeah, I think they're pretty much, they're just going to eat my Underfoot Underdogs, but then everything else gets in. Yeah, that seems really nice. And then we're setting up really, really well for Nareeve. We get to go Nareeve back into Fleeting Effigy, and then it deals double damage. Oh, so yeah, see, I'm okay. I think I'm okay with this. They spent their whole block just eating my Shock Brigade, and I get in for a ton of damage. And now next turn, this Nariv plus Fleeting Effigy combo is going to be very potent, unless the opponent plays something ridiculous right now. Please don't play anything ridiculous. Also, they play this Krumar Initiate. I should hover over that. So, X and a black, tap, pay X life. This creature endures X. Pretty good. Although it does cost them life, so they can't really afford to do that. And unfortunately, my opponent has Salt Road Skirmished my Bone Cairn Butcher, which is very unfortunate. So it died, and then they got 2 warriors, and then it, you know, that's basically it. Whoa. Okay, so now they're going to go Worthy Cost. As initial cost, sacrifice a creature, and then you exile a creature or a planeswalker. So, yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, a little bit weaker now, but at least we get to go Nariv into Fleeting Effigy, which means it's going to do double damage. We'll attack with both, because if they block, yeah, they have to block that, right? Otherwise, they're taking 4. And that's really not where they want to be. So, yeah, I could see why they blocked that. Ooh, Cruel Truth. Surveil 2, then draw 2, you lose 2. Which is good for me right now. But, yeah, I think in general this is a good card. Let's get some card advantage. But, and that's not going to do it. Rot Curse Rakshasa, pretty cool card. 2 mana, Trampled, Decayed. If you remember what Decayed does, it means it can't block, and when it attacks, sack at end of combat. You can renew for X black. Oh, sorry, I probably should have killed my opponent. But I'm reading cards. You know, the people need to know what these cards do. So let's take a look. Rot Curse Rakshasa, 2 mana, 5/5, Trample, Decayed. Renew X black. Exile this card from your graveyard. Put a Decayed counter on each of X target creatures. Activate only as a sorcery. So I don't think this card is great in limited. It could potentially have some constructed potential. It's just debatable. But yeah, nope. That's deck seems to be strong, but you can see where the, you know, if they kill like a couple key creatures, all of a sudden I'm kind of struggling. But luckily, this deck has a lot of ways to push a lot of points. So I think overall we should be okay. It sounds like we have a good, aggressive game plan. So yeah, I'll see you in the next one. All right, we're playing against Rokill. We lost the die roll, and unfortunately we're going to have to mulligan this hand. And this hand looks okay. We'll keep it. We'll go ahead and just put back the Sun Shield. All right. Oh, there's our white source. Very nice. Let's go Mountain Pass. And then I imagine we'll want to start with Shock Brigade. Ooh, this is a cool one. Dragonbrood's Relic. So, hold on. Sequencing. So we'll go with the Shock Brigade first, and then the following turn we can go Devoted Duelist plus Mardu Devotee to trigger the Duelist. So yeah, we'll go ahead and start that. Okay, so anyway, the Dragonbrood's Relic. 1 in a green artifact. Tap an untapped creature control to add a mana of any color, and then it's one of these 5-color payoff things. 3 and Wooburg. Sack it, make a 4/4. That's all colors, flying, lifelink, and when it enters, deals 3 damage to any target. It's a pretty sick card, honestly. All right, my opponent also just played a Sultai Devotee. So this is the Sultai in the Devotee cycle. So it's a 2 mana 2/1 with Death Touch. So imagine if your Venom Saklagak fixed your mana. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and do the play that I was talking about earlier. So we'll go ahead and go with a Devoted Duelist into a Mardu Devotee, trigger the Duelist, deal 1 to the opponent, and then we get to fix the top of our deck. Do I want a land? Not necessarily. I guess it wouldn't be bad to draw a land because I have so many good 4s. Yeah, I think we'll just keep both of these on top. These both seem good. And then we're just going to swing with both, trigger the Mobilize, and then I imagine they'll want to block. Okay, I'm okay with that. All right, and then, oh, we can actually go Kieran into, okay, what is this? When it enters, you may mill 3 cards, and of course they didn't mill 3 cards. What a coward! And then tap to add an amount of green equal to this creature's power. Okay. All right. Well, I think we are gonna go Sun Pearl Kirin, and then we're gonna bounce the Devotee to the hand to give us more value, and then we're gonna Wild Ride and give it +3/+0 and haste. Nice sequencing there. Yeah, so they just eat the token, but they take a ton of damage. Next turn, we can go Devotee plus Underdogs. Ooh, they play a Sagu Wildling. 5-mana 3/3 flyer. When it enters, you gain 3. Don't like to see that. Okay, now what? So they have like 3 mana available if they want. I could just Twin Maw Stormbrood, kill this, which is not bad. That way they don't have access to that much mana on their turn. What do I want to do here? Alternatively, it's just Mardu Devotee plus Underdogs, and then hopefully they can't do too much with all the mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They already have 6 mana, so like what is 2 more? I guess. And then I can always just wait. I do get in with the Shock Brigade attack now, but I guess that's not the most important. I think let's set up. Let's go Mardu Devotee. Well, I guess we can Mardu Devotee first and see what we hit. Okay, there's an Areve. So I think we can go ahead and put the Windscar Krang on the bottom. And then, yeah, that seems really nice. Let's get that on the top. So in that case, I think let's just go with the Underdogs. And then that's also going to help set up future attacks well. All right, opponent plays a Bloodfell Caves and an Adorned Crocodile. So this is a 5-mana 5/3. When it dies, make a 2/2 zombie, and then you can renew for black and put a +1/+1 counter on a creature. So totally serviceable card. Let's just go with the Nareve Pass. So then unfortunately, we can't really attack with anything. But next turn, we should be okay to get in a little bit of damage. 4, 5, 6. Temur Monument. So they're kind of close to activating this Dragon Brood's Relic, which I don't like. They have green, red, black, blue, and they can tap this for white. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, they are just going to crack this and make that. Okay, now what do we do? So we have Charring Bite plus Twin Bolt, which I like. And we do have access to both because we can filter a red mana with the Mardu Devotee. We could also Wild Ride something. I could probably save that for later, combo it with the Underdogs to just get in a ton of damage. So I think this starts with Stormbrood, kill the elephant, and then Twin Bolt. If I swing out, I could swing out and then do maybe they block the Sun Pearl Kirin with with the Wildling, and then I can Twin Bolt it. That's an option. Other options just make this unblockable. Yeah, I think I like... They can't really gain life currently. I mean, they can make the dragon, which kind of sucks, but yeah. I think we'll just go ahead and have them make the decision first and then react accordingly with the Twin Bolt. Okay, yeah, this is fine. So let's let the damage happen. All right, and then we get to do Twin Bolt on the Wildling plus their face. Okay, so looking good. Next turn, Well, I think this turn they can make the dragon, which is pretty unfortunate. Black, red, green, blue, white. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. Yep. Okay. So that's a problem, but it's only a 4/4. Only a 4/4. Okay, there's a sun. Ooh, sun shield. That's a great draw. So now we can go. Yeah, let's just do this, and then we could start tapping it down on the following turn. So we'll go ahead and exile, I guess, the relic plus the wildling, just anything that gains them life, really. And unfortunately, we'll have to pass. No use in attacking because they just attack back for lifelink. Card's pretty sweet, the Dragon Brood's relic. Definitely helping my opponent stabilize here. Oh boy, Feral Deathgorger on that. Okay, and the Cruel Truth, so they get to draw a couple of cards. So they get a free attack in, they get to gain a lot of life, but then we get to attack back for more damage. Nope, don't look at my Nari funny. Don't do it. Oh no, they're doing it. What? Oh no! That's a game loss. Yeah, so Dragonclaw Strike, double the power and toughness of target creature you control until end of turn, and then it fights up to one target creature an opponent controls. Big yikes. Do not like that. Alright, well, we're going to go ahead and play the Bearer of Glory, and then pass. Yeah, I'm just completely stonewalled here. Really unfortunate. My opponent gained like 12 life in one turn. Brutal. Absolutely brutal. Lifelink's strong, but at least I get to tap it down every turn. So I basically have a small window where I can make things happen. Oh boy. I think we're going to have to kill the crocodile, unfortunately. This Wild Ride is really not doing anything for me at all. Oh boy, Host of the Hereafter. So it's basically a 4-mana 4/4 with counters on it. And whenever this creature or another creature control dies, if it had counters, you put its counters on up to one target creature you control. So I'm essentially completely dead here. But I guess we'll play out a Fortress Kingguard. And we'll, I suppose, make... I'll put a counter on it just to have more power and toughness. But yeah, the game is effectively over and I can't win. So this is what I was thinking about with this mechanic, or with this archetype. It just seems to struggle. Like I'm struggling, you know? They play like a couple things that control the board, they play things that kill my stuff and gain them life, and then all of a sudden, you know, you're just completely cooked. Opponent's at 27. You think I can get them down? Oh, wow. This is another cool one. 5-mana 4/4 flying ward, pay 2 life. When it enters, remove all counters from up to one target creature. And then there's the Absorb Essence, which is a instant omen. And then target creature gets +2/+2 and gains lifelink and hexproof until end turn. So that's like a nice trick attached to a good body with a relevant ability. Yeah, opponent's deck was sweet. So, yeah, pretty unfortunate. We'll see you in the next one. All right, we're playing against LSV, and we won the die roll. This hand is really, really unfortunate. I think I keep, like, we're on the play, and we can just take advantage of this fleeting effigy hitting him over and over again. Missing white, which sucks. I think we're going to keep it. I don't necessarily like it. Also, we lost the die roll. I'm dumb. All right, let's just get out a fleeting effigy and hit. So opponent played a LSV played, okay, yep, makes sense. 2 tap lands, checks out. All right, let's go ahead and go swamp into Shock Brigade. And then, okay, probably, oh, passing the turn. Ooh, there's our plains, very nice. So go plains. Um, do I care about twin bolting something? I think we're just gonna try to get in as much as possible with the effigy. I assume some sort of removal here, but if they use the removal spell on the effigy, oh, nice. Okay, he played nothing. I do appreciate that. So we'll go Mardu Devotee, and these look like pretty good. Okay, we could pitch the mountain, keep the Bearer of Glory. I think that'll be good for the going wide aspect of things. So I think we're going to keep that on top. And then we have some pretty premium removal spells here, which will allow us to hopefully deal with whatever he plays. So, okay. Okay, okay, well, okay, we have to we have to deal as much damage as possible, but he has like done nothing this turn. You know what I mean? So he's probably going to play something absolutely ridiculous next turn. Okay, so let's just take this opportunity, slam Nareev, get in for a bunch of points. We just need to try to have such a strong board presence that he can't effectively deal with it all. But man, I mean, if LSV is playing an Encroaching Dragonstorm on 4, you know we're about to see something really scary. That's only a Sibsig Appraiser. That's not that scary. Maybe he's dirtling too much. Maybe I'm just taking advantage of the fact that LSV notoriously just dirtles a lot, and we're going to be fine. Alternatively, he could have a kill spell. Ugh. Can't be countered. Exile target non-land per... That's pretty good. Okay, but we get to have a pretty sick sequence here. I guess it's not that sick. So we'll go Twin Bolts, bolt the Appraiser and his face, and then just going to be mana efficient, go for the Bearer of Glory, and then get in for a few points. So the problem here is that he's only at 11. I don't like that. I wish he were lower. He would be at 8 if this kill spell did not gain life. Okay, here's what I'm talking about. Here's what I'm talking about. The entire format revolves around elephants. That's all it is, really, truly. And that's why we have Twin Blaw Stormbrood. Oh, this is so silly. Okay. So we have some options. Unfortunately, this botanist is kind of holding me back hostage. We could go Defibrillating Current, kill the 2/3. I could Thunder of Unity, draw 2 cards, try to find a land, because if I can go Thunder of Unity into another land and then Charring Bite the 5/5, that's insane. And are we winning if we don't do that? If I just Twin Blast Stormbrood attack with the Shock Brigade, are we coming back from this? I feel like the answer is no. Oh man. I think I'm going to risk it. Oh, but then he gets another 5/5. Boy, I hate this so much. F it, we ball. Let's go. Draw a land. Please, draw 2 cards. Yeah! Let's go! Yes, kill that. And then, unfortunately, I can't attack with... Well, they just block here. We get in 3 point... No. We're just going to get in with the Shock Brigade. It's fine. We'll save the Bearer of Glory for the next turn. Plus, we get to kill it with the Defibrillating Current. Oh, beautiful. It was so good. I'm so glad. I'm so glad that worked out. So, they could probably make another elephant, which is, you know, kind of annoying. But, on the contrary, we get to go Fleeting Effigy for a couple turns in a row and then deal lots of damage and gain life, which, you know, the gaining life aspect is not as important, but... I don't know. We're fine. Everything's fine. No worries. Opponent has nothing. That is very good. That's a good card. I'm pretty sure he's going to make a 3/3. Yeah, I don't like that. And a Mardu Monument. Okay. So he's running out of stuff, which I like. All right, how much can we do here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, We could defibrillating current 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 3 and 3. Oh no, we could do everything. So we'll go fleeting effigy. Come on, client. There you go. Fleeting effigy, deal damage. Saltwork pack beast, draw a card. Whoa, wait, that's so sick. I guess I can hold off on that until next turn, I think. I like that. Then we can exile his elephant. Yeah, that seems really good. And then, yeah, we're just going to take advantage and deal 4 damage to the Earth Carver. Pretty sure here. Yeah, I think we're just going to do that. Then next turn we can static snare something. So if I swing out, I get to deal another point to him. And then he blocks here, takes 1, 2, 3, 4 damage, goes to 5. Then I lose 2 of my creatures, and then next turn I'll have 1, 2, 3 attackers. I actually think I swing out. Alternatively, I could wait a turn and then also hold up the Bearer of Glory. How bad is it? 2, 3, 4, 5. Only 1 card in the hand. Oh, he also gets a lot of blockers too next turn. I think I am supposed to swing out here to try to deal as many points as possible. Yeah, this is what I figured he would do. So, but still, a lot of points. I think he's going to be forced to just play this defensively. Sonic Shrieker. Oh boy. So deal 4 damage to any target, or 2 damage to any target. Oh no! That's right, he does it to me, and then I lose my card. Oh boy. That's pretty bad. I do get to attack with the Pack Beast. Oh, get a Wild Ride. So, I mean, I kind of like that. Can I win? No, I don't think I can win, but we can definitely come close. It's tapped out. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So like, I'm not dead. If we go all in on the Wild Ride and we go +6/+0 on the Shock Brigade. Oh yeah, no, that actually seems really, really good. I like that a lot. So yeah, we'll go Wild Ride on the Shock Brigade, and then we'll go Wild Ride, tap the Salt Road Pack Beast, do it on the Shock Brigade, and then this is lethal, so they must block. Yeah, there's no need to go Mardu Devotee. Yeah, that's pretty solid. Solid turn. Okay. So, yeah, these all die. I'm left with a Pack Beast and a Dream. My opponent, he will have an Elephant and 3 1/1s. Can we get there? Okay. Oh my god. That's so sick. Whale of War, bring back the Sonic Shrieker. I think that's pretty bad. That might be it. Very close. My opponent just has way too much value and a life gain. I play this, I guess. I can exile. Oh, I can exile the Bellow. That's right. So we can exile the Bellow, and then I guess the Inevitable Defeat. No real need to attack. I can just wait until I get something else. Yeah, this is definitely tough. But the Sun Shield could help me out. Alright. He's starting to attack me back. What? Oh no. Death begets life. 8 mana. Destroy all creatures and enchantments. Draw a card for each permanent destroyed this way. Into a Quasi Revenant. Yeah, I think this game is effectively over. Get these out of here. Very unfortunate. Wow. We were close. I'm not sure if I was supposed to make that attack on that one turn and just hold back and then just have like a bigger board that I could then pump. But I don't know. Opponent had, yeah, LSV has quite a lot of stuff going on here. Oh wow, yeah, insane value. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, basically just playing out his entire hand. I believe that will do it. We fought hard. It was close. It was definitely close. We'll go Kieran, I guess. Bounce this back and play it again. It's not amazing, but we'll just do it. I mean, yeah. They're cards. I don't know. You know what? It might be okay. I don't think it will be. I guess we need a better card than that. All right, fine. We'll keep them both. I'm not entirely convinced that it does anything. But yeah, here they just make the dragon. They deal 3 damage and they gain 3, and then they just make 3 peoples and then swing out completely. I have to block 3, 6, 9. We go seize opportunity, exile the top 2, and then we concede. Very unfortunate. All right, we're playing against Dotty Dad, and our hand looks okay. There's no black source, but I think we're going to keep it. Okay, we get to start off with a Roost Seek, which is the omen half of the Sagu Wildling that we saw earlier, which is search your library for basic land, reveal it, put in your hand, then shuffle. Ooh, I like that. So yeah, let's just go ahead and start the damage output with the effigy, because I don't really need this Windscarred Crag right now. So then next turn we can go Shock Brigade, and then on the following turn maybe Sun Pearl Kieran plus effigy. Ooh, Static Snare, that's nice. So we'll go land into Shock Brigade. Opponent got an island, but they played a swamp. Interesting. Really interesting decision making. Okay, full Sultai, Nightblade Brigade. So Death Touch, and when it enters, you surveil 1, and it has mobilize 1. So solid card. So definitely not going to be playing the effigy this turn. So I think we'll go for the underdogs, and then on the following turn we can bounce the underdogs. Yeah. Okay, let's start with an attack. So this will always get a guaranteed point in. All right, and then we'll go Underfoot Underdog. So now we're setting up for a really nice, cheap Static Snare that we can potentially get rid of the Brigade. But I don't know, wasting my premium removal spell on their like 3 mana 1/3 is not ideal. But I don't know, it's not great. Alternatively, I could like Sun Pearl Kieran. Oh, I could just do it for value on a token and draw a card. I don't hate that. Depends what opponent does. Okay, they disrupted Stormbrood, so they played the Omen half, destroy target creature with power 3 or less. Okay, now what? Can I do everything? So if I play the plains and I swing out, then I play the plains, play the effigy. I'm attacking with 3 creatures. This costs 2. It's not enough to also then play the Sun Pearl Kieran. So I guess what I could do is I could wait on that. Wait on the Sun Pearl Kieran. And I could just static snare this now, get in for 4 points, and then play Windscarred Crag. Yeah, I guess we'll go ahead and do that. So we'll swing out, and then we'll static snare away the Brigade, and then we'll play out Windscarred Crag. And then next turn we can go Kieran plus Fleeting Effigy. Hopefully opponent doesn't play anything too scary. I guess that's okay. I guess I can just, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could replay the underdogs to get another 1/1, but I think I'd rather just, I could play Effigy, give it indestruct or unblockable, and then pump it. Give it 4 points. But that doesn't seem that great. I think we'll go, this 1/1 is doing nothing, so I actually think I'm gonna, let's do this. Sunpearl Kieran, bounce back the Goblin to draw a card. Ooh, that's nice. Play the Monastery, play the Effigy, give it unblockable, and then hit them for a guaranteed 2 points. Okay. Solid combo here with the underdog and the Fleeting Effigy. It's basically like a 2-mana shock guaranteed every turn. And then with the Sunpearl Kieran, that should also help. Also, we have the option to impulse draw cards. Okay, they're going to tap 3 mana for Rakshasa's Bargain, which another one of these 2-hybrid cards, which is in the Sultai colors. And you look at the top 4 and then put 2 in the hand and the rest in the graveyard. Okay. They played a Dragonstorm Forecaster, which pays 2 and tap, search for a Dragonstorm Globe, which is the Mana Rock, or a Boulderborn Dragon, which I can't remember what that does. And then, yeah, 1 mana 0/3. It's fine. All right, I'll take this. Take 5 from the Crocodile. Okay, no Swamp, which is sad. So yeah, I think we're just going to go more all in on the Effigy. So we'll go Effigy, give it indestructible. We'll give it unblockable, and then we'll attack with both. We'll, oh, wait. Go to blockers. Now go to pump. Deal 6 points. So now my opponent is facing down lethal on the next turn, unless they do something right now. Rakshasa, oh boy. So they get to give something -2/-2, and then give one of their guys +2/+2. Okay. Yeah, that seems pretty good. And now I don't have good defenses. Okay, so we could go Fleeting Effigy and attack. No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, I guess I can. 5, 10. What am I supposed to do here? I could draw a card with the Monastery. Is if they have any removal spell, I could die. I could try to just draw a card and get out of this. And then still play out the Bearer of Glory, which I don't hate. If I play out the Fleeting Effigy and then they block with the Forecaster, I pump once and then I play the Bearer of Glory. I guess that's the move. One removal spell and we're dead. I also want to attack them in the air. Do I just have to really hope my opponent doesn't have removal? Because they're obviously going to do that. What could I draw that could get me out of this? Nothing that I can think of at the moment. I think we're going to go ahead and push. This also opens up the opportunity for them to make a mistake, which is always nice. Yeah, that's... Whoa! Whoa! What? Did they have a haster? Okay. Well, I'm gonna just do this twice. And then kill off the Rakshasa. Not do it like that. Okay. I'm okay with this. Yeah, this seems fine. Unfortunately, I don't have lethal on my next turn. Do they have a way to deal 4 points? I don't think so. Nothing in the graveyard. Close game. I have some top decks that can win me the game. We could draw the +3/+0 and haste trick. Abzan Devotee. Okay. And then passing the turn? Trade Route Envoy. Okay, just adding to the board. Okay, there's a creature. That's a creature. I do like that. Unfortunately, these are 2 lethal attackers, so still any removal spell is death. All right, I think we're gonna go for all the creatures and just hit them in the air and guarantee lethal next turn. Take this away, take this away, and then hit them in the air. All right. Don't have a removal spell, please. Or a way to pump the Abzan Devotee. Oh, they're going to combat. They're just attacking with those. Okay, block and block. No trample trick. I don't know what trample trick exists. Oh, let's go. Okay. Okay, everything's fine. They don't have removal, because if they had removal, they would have done it by now and won the game. Okay. And then we get to gain... Okay. Let's attack for 2. Win game. Bewildering Blizzard. This card is so good. Draw 3 cards. Creatures your opponents control get -3/-0 until end of turn. Just ridiculous card. Really, really strong card. It's Ancestral Recall and Time Walk for 6 mana at instant speed. Insane. Just crazy card. Ridiculous. I'm going to play a Twin Blast Stormbrood. Okay, so we're at 9, which is good. But now my opponent just drew 3 cards. So they probably have removal, and then they win the game. Absolutely insane. Naga Fleshcrafter. Oh, this enters as a copy of any creature on the battlefield. Nice. 4 mana. Yeah, enters a copy of any creature. And then you can renew it, put a counter on target non-legendary creature you control. Each other creature you control becomes a copy of that creature until end of turn. Yeah, pretty brutal stuff. All right, we are going to take 5 here. Because if I can find a way to remove the Stormbrood, we should be fine. Well, and then we can win. It's brutal. Oh, boy. Yeah, I think this card is great. The Bewildering Blizzard. Very, very strong card. Put the counter there. Okay, Shock Brigade is not going to do it here. So let's Impulse Draw. Plains. I think I have to go... Yeah, I think I just have to go Shock Brigade pass. Really unfortunate we could never find our black source. But I knew that was going to be a weakness of the deck, just not having access to black early enough. Does opponent have anything in the graveyard they can use? No, not currently. The Twin Blast Stormbrood is brutal here. Okay, they're just going to attack with the Trade Route Envoy? Okay. Trade Route Envoy and the 3/3. Why are they attacking me with a 3/3? Do they have a way to pump it? Okay, how are we getting out of this? So obviously we have to block the Trade Route Envoy. I mean, do I just have to like hope and pray my opponent has nothing? I don't think we're really in a position to play around anything. And then I guess I prefer to have the Shock Brigade ? Opponent obviously has something. Okay, they must have like a -1/-1 effect. Or, oh god, are they going to get back the... Oh, they don't have a creature in the graveyard. Oh, so this card's cool. Kishla Trawlers. 3 mana, 3/2. When it enters, you may exile a creature card from your graveyard. When you do, return an instant or sorcery from graveyard to hand. Ooh, there's a Mardu Devotee, and that's my black source. A little dangerous going to 2 life, but I don't think we can really afford to not do this. It gives me the best chance. Also, I get to scry too, which is helpful. Okay, I mean, that is a creature, and I kind of need... I just need bodies, right? Because then I can block, and then we're doing okay. We're not doing that great. We're actually doing pretty poorly, but I mean, yeah, I think I have to keep it. And then we'll go for the Thunder of Unity, draw 2, lose 2. We could potentially set up for a kill on the following turns. Ooh, Nareev. Nareev is not something I can play right now, unfortunately, because I've already used the Mardu Devotee as ability, but I will go ahead and just slam this Devoted Duelist. And then, unfortunately, I have to hold back, no attacks. I am like a sneeze away from losing this game. Oh boy. Yep, there goes Nareev. Goodbye. And then the Forecaster gets to attack me. Do they have anything else? Come on, what do you have? What do you have? Okay, swinging out? Yeah, makes sense, checks out. I mean, these are all forced blocks, which sucks. But I get to keep my... I get to keep the Shock Brigade around, I guess, which is nice. I have to block here. I have to block... Yeah, these are all, like, pre-played blocks. And then they can turn all their creatures into copies of something. Abzan Devotee comes back down. Oh, well, how much? Wait, how much damage is that? So I attack with the Shock Brigade. I bring in this. I gain 1 life. I guess I can start by exiling the top card. Another Plains. Oh boy. I'm not dead. I'm not dead. So let's play out the Kinguard. And then I get to endure 1, so we have to put a creature down. We get to gain more life, and then we get to attack with a Shock Brigade. Okay, that's a big life swing. All of a sudden we're tied up. They're going to take an additional 1 here. They're going to go to 2. Very close. Okay. I have blockers, and then next turn we get to just Shock Brigade. Like if I swing out, I think it's... Oh. Wait a minute. Is those cards from... Yeah. Okay, never mind. Well, that's unfortunate. We tried. Really close game. Really, really close game. Oh, very exciting. But yeah, unfortunately, that's gonna do it for me. So not the most exciting start to a draft format, but there were definitely some issues. So I think the big thing is that the Thunder of Unity pack one pick one was probably just not correct, but I did want to try it out. The deck overall seemed fairly solid, but as you could see, there were some problems. I probably could have played that 3-mana deal 3. It wasn't the most exciting, but it could have dealt with maybe a lot of the creatures my opponents played. But and then the fixing was a problem. We only had the one Bloodfell Caves and a couple swamps to play, like a bunch of black cards, and the 2 Martyr Devotees helped as well. But yeah, I think aggro definitely struggles in this format, and this video might be a lesson learned, so to speak, of not what not to do, but just showing that this archetype has some potential, but even when you have very powerful cards, that it can struggle. Well, all right. Hope you enjoyed my first arena draft of Tarkir Dragonstorm. Thanks for watching.